Imagine a country sitting on an enormous oil reserve worth approximately $18 trillion. Yet, despite its wealth of resources, it cannot fully capitalize on them. That country is Venezuela, and its oil story illustrates one of the world's largest disparities between potential wealth and reality. Interestingly, many people misinterpret what reserves actually means. So, how much oil are we talking about? Most major references estimate Venezuela's proven crude oil reserves at around 303 billion barrels, the largest total for any nation globally. To clarify, proven reserves do not mean oil you can pump immediately. It refers to oil that is believed to be recoverable with current technology and under existing economic conditions. To put the scale in perspective, total global proven reserves are approximately 1,566 billion barrels. Venezuela's reserves constitute nearly one-fifth of that total, surpassing countries like Saudi Arabia and Iran. As of January 8, 2026, Brent crude was priced around $60 a barrel. Calculating the value, 303 billion barrels multiplied by $60 gives us roughly $18 trillion. Even if prices average closer to $55, as forecasted by the United States Energy Information Administration for early 2026, you still approach $17 trillion. That's the headline figure. However, the real question is, how much of that can be transformed into usable, sellable oil at a profit? Why isn't it just a simple treasure chest? A significant portion of Venezuela's oil lies in the Orinoco Belt and consists of extra heavy crude, which is more viscous than water. Think of it as being similar to cold syrup. This type of oil often requires special processing and the right refinery setup for extraction. When production is costly, the market price becomes a critical factor. One Reuters analysis notes that large quantities of oil can exist on paper, and some analysts suggest that the genuinely recoverable amount may be significantly lower than the widely cited 300 billion barrels. Now, let's discuss the operational reality. Venezuela once pumped several million barrels a day, but years of underinvestment, loss of skilled workers, and international sanctions have severely impacted the system. Today, even when exports increase, they often remain under 1 million barrels per day for many months, highlighting the difficulties in converting reserves into consistent production. Here's why the world still cares deeply about oil. Changes in oil prices have a significant impact on everything. When oil prices fall, shipping costs decrease, which cools inflation. Conversely, when oil prices spike, the cost of food and travel rises, causing central banks to panic. Venezuela represents a wild card in the oil market. Due to its massive reserves, any credible shift in Venezuela's production can alter market expectations, which in turn affect oil prices. Ironically, Venezuela has about 303 billion barrels of oil in the ground, but its recent output has been approximately 1.1 million barrels per day, only a small fraction of global supply. The situation is also influenced by geopolitics. Sanctions, investment regulations, and the distribution of oil resources can redirect oil flows between regions, impacting energy security and pricing. If Venezuela were to increase its output by even 500,000 barrels per day over time, it could contribute to an oversupply, keeping prices lower, especially given that markets are already concerned about surplus risks in early 2026.